The review units are being called to attention, and the adjutant commands sound adjutant's call, which will signal the start of today's ceremony.
Sound adjutant's call!
The units are now being aligned from left to right in order to get them into their exact positions for the review.
Guys, push! Freeze it! On!
The review adjutant now presents the assembled command to the commander of troops.
So, the review is formed. Take the post. Order! Order! Box the staff! Staff, left, face. Staff, column right, mark. Staff, up. Staff, right, face.
Now taking his position is the reviewing officers for today's review. The Assistant Wing Commander, 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing, Brigadier General Robert B. Brody.
Freeze it! On! Yeah, freeze it! On!
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for honors to Brigadier General General Brody. Thank you. Please be seated.
Order! On! All right! Rep!
Now taking his position in the reviewing area is the commanding officer of Marine Fighter Attack Training Squadron 101, Lieutenant Colonel Ryan J. Franzen.
Sir, the squadron is formed for inspection.
Marine Fighter Attack Training Squadron 101's lineage is as follows. Activated 3 January 1969 at Marine Corps Air Station, El Toro, California. Assigned to Marine Combat Crew Readiness Training Group 10, 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing. Training a replacement aircrew in the McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom II. The squadron was reassigned during May 1969 to Marine Aircraft Group 33. The squadron relocated during July 1970 to Marine Corps Air Station, Yuma, Arizona, and was reassigned back to Marine Combat Crew Readiness Training Group 10. On 20 May 1987, the squadron trained its last Phantom II aircrew, and by September 1987 had relocated back to Marine Corps Air Station, El Toro, and became the 3rd F-18 Hornet Fleet Replacement Squadron in the Department of the Navy. On 31 March 1988, the squadron was assigned to Marine Aircraft Group 11. From 1990 to April 1991, the squadron participated in combat operations in support of Operation Desert Shield and Operation Desert Storm. On 1 October 1998, the squadron relocated to Marine Corps Air Station Miramar. In response to September 11, 2001, the squadron participated in Operation Noble Eagle off the Pacific coast of the United States. In October 2019, VMFAT-101 became the only F-18 A through D training squadron in the Department of the Navy. The squadron's honors include the following: Navy Unit Commendation Streamer, 1990 through 1991. Meritorious Unit Commendation Streamer, with 1 Silver Star and 2 Bronze Stars for 1970 through 1971, 1982 through 1987, 1989 through 1990, 1994 through 1996, 1998 through 2000, 2000 through 2002. National Defense Service Streamer with 2 Bronze Stars. Global War on Terrorism Service Streamer.
March the command in final review. Aye, aye, sir. Pass and review. Right. Base.
Lieutenant Colonel Franzen would like to invite all past commanding officers of Marine Fighter Attack Training Squadron 101 to join him in the reviewing area for the final pass and review. As a reminder, please rise as the colors pass in front of your position. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and members of the naval aviation community, we gather here today on this significant occasion the deactivation ceremony of Marine Fighter Attack Training Squadron 101. Let us embark on a journey through time, honoring the dedication, valor, and excellence that have defined VMFAT-101. Commissioned on January 3rd, 1969 at Marine Corps Air Station El Toro, California, VMFAT-101 emerged as a steadfast pillar within the Marine Combat Crew Readiness Training Group 10. The commander of troops is Lieutenant Colonel Clayton Clinton from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The drum major is Gunnery Sergeant Jeffrey Parks. This squadron was entrusted with a pivotal task, molding the finest naval aviators and flight officers in the art of the McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom II. And the grace of a soaring eagle, VMFAT-101 marked on its maiden training story on February 20th, 1969. The headquarters platoon commander is Major Michael Lowry from Santa Clara, California. It was during the summer of 1970 that the squadron's wings carried it to new horizons as it found its home at Marine Corps Air Station Yuma, Arizona. The color sergeant is Sergeant Morgan Rempel from Saratoga, Wyoming. The maintenance platoon commander is Captain Joshua Twenty from Moberly, Missouri. The skies witnessed the SharpSHooters' ascent to greatness, a journey punctuated by their very first Chief of Naval Operations Aviation Safety Award for Excellence in 1972, attesting to over 18,300 flight hours without mishap. The following are recognized as pivotal moments of evolution in the lifespan of VMFAT-101. VMFAT-101 absorbed the active assets of VMFAT-201 from Marine Corps Air Station Cherry Point, North Carolina, in July 1974, and became the only Phantom II training squadron in the Marine Corps. SharpSHooters collected accolades such as the 1976 CNO Aviation Safety Award and the Commanding General Fleet Marine Forces Pacific Aviation Safety Award in 1978 and 1979. Throughout its storied journey, VMFAT-101 continued to shape aircrew with an indomitable spirit, showcasing their excellence by receiving the prestigious Marine Corps Aviation Association Robert M. Hansen Award in 1983. But the story did not end there. September 29, 1987, breathed new life into the squadron as VMFAT-101 found a new mission, nurturing the Marine Corps' dedicated F-18 Hornet Fleet Replacement Squadron aircraft. A chapter closed, but a new narrative was born. Over the years, VMFAT-101's role grew to extraordinary proportions, processing 3 times the aircraft of a typical F-18 squadron. This abundance allowed the squadron to not only shape 40 replacement pilots, but also reinvigorate the skills of former fleet aviators. The sharp focus on tactical employment of the F-18 in diverse combat scenarios became the hallmark of VMFAT-101's training philosophy. The Academy of the Skies was divided into distinct portions. As we gather here with hearts filled with pride, we salute the monumental impact VMFAT-101 has had on our Marines, sailors, and our nation. Its legacy, steadfast as a lighthouse, illuminates the path for future generations. Although the F-35 Lightning II may beckon the horizon, the resounding echo of VMFAT-101's excellence will continue to resonate through the Marine Air Ground Task Force, casting an unwavering glow from her past. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Colors! Fantastic! March! Detachment! Forward! March! Sir, VMFAT-101 colors are present. Accept the command. Aye, sir. Reset! Arms! Staff, reset, arms.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of colors and the playing of the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the Assistant Wing Commander of 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing, Brigadier General Robert B. Brody.
Good afternoon. It's great to see everybody here today, and I will tell you that if there's a question of what VMFAT-101 has done, it is very clear with how many people have showed up to celebrate its heritage today. Truly remarkable. I'd like to start off by saying a special thank you to the Commanding General, the 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing, Major General Bart Schulte. Sir, I just can't thank you enough for the opportunity to serve as a reviewing officer today. This is something I'll never forget. As the former 101 commander, this is really a historical moment for me. So thank you, sir, for allowing me to do that. And I can tell you, right here, thank you. Hoorah, hoorah. I'd like to acknowledge a few distinguished guests we have here. First, Lieutenant General Retired Beiler, sir, it's great to see you. And Vice Air Marshal Attridge, sir, I look forward to chatting with you after and getting to meet you. And then, sir, to Rear Admiral Batchelder, sir, thank you for coming today. And to put it in perspective, this is General Beiler was the commander, and then we have Vice Air Marshal Attridge served as an exchange officer, and then, which I had a Navy executive officer also when I was in command, Rear Admiral Batchelder served as the executive officer of 101. So truly remarkable to have you, and thank you. I'd like to welcome, today we have 12 commanders that have served in this esteemed position. And it really is awesome to have you here. And I look forward to talking to each and every one of you afterwards. I'd like to also bring a very special recognition to Miss Green that is here today, and Mrs. Ron Kitchens, which is here today. They are representing and here supporting their late husbands. I can't tell you how much that brings to this ceremony so that we can celebrate the lives of your husbands and what they brought to this command. So thank you. So I'm going to ask for another round of applause for the 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing Band, which is just a remarkable. I'm going to coin the CG's phrase that they are the best band in the land, and they do over 400 performances a year. It's absolutely awesome to have you. Sound wonderful. Thank you very much. So we talked a little bit, you may have heard about the history of VMFAT-101, the SharpSHooters. Started back in 1969, and it flew F-4 Phantom IIs all the way up until 1987, when we transitioned to this mighty fighter, the F-18. Thousands of aircrew have passed through the halls of 101. Fighter pilots, fighter Rios, fighter Wizzos, and it's bigger than that, because this squadron here has trained more maintenance Marines than any other squadron in the Marine Corps. It's a holistic approach to make sure that we're ready to fight and win. Marines that come here and sailors that have gone through have learned everything from formation flying on a beautiful day like this to like it was this morning when we flew formation through the clouds as we launched 18 fighters to go out and conduct a mission. They learned air-to-air combat, air-to-ground combat, strike in support of our Marines on the ground, and then many have hurled themselves at the back end of an aircraft carrier in the middle of the night with a pitching deck. This squadron has earned accolades and awards. For C&O Safety Award, flying thousands of hours, mishap-free. We have the general here, Lieutenant General Beidler, commanded this squadron when it was called into action. And the Marines launched the Fly the Skies on 9/11, providing homeland defense. This squadron has won the Hanson Award, #1 squadron of the year. I'll tell you, I want to share a remarkable statistic with you. This squadron has flown more than 370,000 sponsored sales pitch. Anyway, please make sure you get a picture of Brinkley there. That is awesome. The squadron's flown 370,000 flight hours plus. I want to put that in perspective. It sounds like a big number. I'm going to paint what a big number it is. That means that 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, for 42 years straight, a sharpshooter was airborne in an aircraft. Think about that. 54 years in existence, 42 years of it, this squadron was airborne, flying, and training to fight. Now that's remarkable. This squadron has participated through its Marines in every conflict from 1969 until now. Marines that have been trained in here have oftentimes walked out of 101, went down to a fighter squadron, and weeks later were employing in combat. I personally got airborne within 4 months of graduating FRS and was fighting. Commands like this drive true excellence. They accept nothing but the finest. Now, we talk a lot about flight hours, some of our accolades, but really what this is about the men and women that have served in this great institution for the past 54 years. It's about their instructorship, their leadership. It's about the things that they've given to others. Unacceptable to be anything less than your very best. Making sure that bombs are on target on time. Making sure that when you join up on somebody's wing, it's flawless. And then when you're debriefing, you're hard on each other to make sure that you get better every single time you go airborne. That's what this unit's all about. Standards and true highest level of efficiency and proficiency so that when the time comes to fight and win, our Marines know that we're overhead for them. But really what I'm talking about is legacy. I'm talking about legacy. I'm talking about what we do to pass it on. 54 years of passing the torch, of being the best that you can be in the aircraft and the best that you can be while working on these aircraft. 54 years of that. My personal experience, I stand here today. I have served with Lieutenant General Beidler. I have served with Colonel Robinson, and I fell in behind Joe Sears that mentored me as I took command. I have watched them fly. I have personally seen them in combat, and I learned from them, and they inspired me to want to be my very best. I am just one example of the thousands and thousands of people that have had the fortunate opportunity to come through the halls of VMFAT-101 sharpshooters. So as we sundown this wonderful organization, one of the best fighter squadrons in Marine Corps history, I cannot think of a finer commander to sundown it than Lieutenant Colonel Yoshi Franson. He defines what right looks like. He does not accept anything less than your best. His attitude, his leadership permeates this organization in an infectious way that everyone works towards a common goal to be our very best. Yoshi, I am so proud of you. I am so proud of what you've done, and I can tell you as a former commander and every one of the commanders on the front row, we are so glad that you, my friend, they're the last one to carry the torch. I'm really proud of you. So I want to close with this. I want to say thank you to all the men and women that have given it all for 54 years. From the fighter pilots to the fighter wizzos, to the fighter Rios, to all the Marines that have turned wrenches on these wonderful aircraft, the teaching and inspiring that they've done, to our civilians that have helped us out so greatly, especially our contractors that have kept us alive for so long, and to the Marines that stood in the halls upstairs working throughout all the sections. Thank you. And thank you for our true heroes, our families that have supported us through all this. Semper Fidelis, and I'd like to introduce Colonel Skull Mitchell, Mag 11 Commander.
What an amazing day. Thank you for being here, ladies and gentlemen. Major General Borg Schulte, sir, thank you for joining us, and I really appreciate all that you've done to support 101. Brigadier General Brody, sir, it's an honor to share this ceremony with you, and I remember being under your command when you were here as I was a CAD other, and I've learned a lot from you. Thank you. This is a testament to what 101 means. The crowd that's here, the former commanders, everybody that's touched 101, the maintainers, the SHOT Marines, past and present, dare I even say living legends, thank you for taking the time to be here. I also want to recognize and thank Carol and Yoshi's parents for being here. You know, Yoshi learned how to fly in the Marine Corps. He learned how to lead Marines, but he couldn't have found the success that he did without the foundation that you provided him. All right, so I appreciate everything that you've given him and allowing us to have him in our ranks. Thank you. Lisa, thank you so much for everything that you've done, all your sacrifices, all the hardships, 8 deployments is what I counted, countless detachments. I probably lost the count of days that Yoshi's been gone. And through it all, you know, you guys are a strong family, and it's just great to see what you've done for the SharpSHooters and also for your family. Kiana, Koa, thank you very much for all your hardship and sacrifice, and I hope you get to spend a little bit more time with Dad going forward. But thank you. I know it's been hard moving around a lot. All right, so this is a special day for 101. Some would say maybe it's sad. I don't know. I look at it as a celebration. And if you go back and you just look at what they've done for nearly 55 years, 101, I would say, is synonymous with aviation excellence. And I would say that the patch, the sharpshooter patch, in the words of the great Santini, it symbolizes that special breed of sky devil known and feared throughout the world, the Marine dogfighter. And they've done that. It is where young, aspiring aviators and maintainers come, cut their teeth, and they're transformed into aviation warriors. And I tell you, I've been there. I've came through here 3 times, and it's a special place. All right, if you look at every combat mission for nearly 5 decades that the F-4 Phantom's flown, that the Hornet's flown, you can trace that to some degree back here to this flight line where fighter attack truly begins. All right, and it's not only felt here with those wearing the patch, it's felt through the joint force, through our ground combat element. Me as a MAG commander, knowing the product that I'm getting to the fleet, we could not sustain our combat excellence out in the fleet without our great FRSs. And I tell you what, Yoshi, everybody here, the 12 past commanders, we owe a debt of gratitude to you all. As many of us wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have had the success that we had if it wasn't for this foundation. Now, through that effort, there's always somebody at the helm. And that commander sets the tone, sets the standard. And we are fortunate to have some of the finest commanders that the Marine Corps provides in our FRSs here at 101. Yoshi, I got to tell you, you've earned your place at the seat with these legends. You've earned every bit of it. I tell you, I'm so proud of everything you've accomplished. It has been a pleasure watching you serve, train, fight. You haven't taken a day off. And just to put it into perspective, you know, being a CEO is hard no matter what, especially in the Hornet, aging platform, readiness. But being an FRS CEO comes with some unique challenges. There is no rebuilding phase Once you make a pilot or a Wizzo, you're on to the next one. It's non-stop. It's kind of like recruiting. There is no break. You're not probably one for parts. You have a mixed lot of aircraft that you're trying to deal with. A lot of pressure to make those aviators to get them to the fleet. Yoshi, I got to tell you, you made that look easy. And it's not, I know. And more importantly, what you did is you instilled and fostered a warrior culture that you don't normally see outside of a fleet squadron that's forward deployed. You know, Yoshi, he transformed some of the training. We stopped doing carrier qualifications. We're sunning down the Hornet. So instead of just being status quo and just doing the best or doing the same, no, Yoshi took it a step further. He's like, all right, well, let's do something different. Let's take the squadron on a deck for a live missile shoot. And oh, by the way, we're going to have the students pull the trigger. Mitigate it, and IP's in the back seat. Oh, by the way, you know what? And I'm going to make my mission with only 40% IP staff, 10 to 27. No big deal. And everybody upstairs, downstairs, the Marines, the contractors, they follow you anywhere, Yoshi. I see it. I saw it in their eyes when I got to join you on your deck in McDill and be a part of your warrior night. I've not seen that too often outside of a fleet squadron. Things like that instill that warrior culture. And I tell you, I've got vivid memories when I was a young Cat 1 under the command of Lieutenant General Bidler. You set the standard, sir. You were the catalyst for my success. What you did, I'll never forget. And it set in motion so much of me and my peers. And Yoshi, you did the same thing with the 27 Cat 1s that you trained and every Marine and sailor under your command. They will remember you for the rest of your life, or their life, and they will try to emulate everything that you did. So I just want to thank you, Yoshi. I want to thank you for everything that you've done, not just for VMFAT-101, not just for MAG 11, but for Marine TAC Gear at large, across the fleet, and also for our nation. The impact that you've had on the Marines out in front of us, the IPs that are still here, the retired Marines that have gone on, it's going to have lasting impacts for generations to come. All because of the culture that you put into the squadron and the effort that you put. Yoshi flew over 350 hours in his time as the CO. And that wasn't -2 or -4. That was most times leading as the lead IP in every single phase of flight. That's noticed. Young pilots want to meet you, Yoshi. I appreciate everything you've done. Congratulations on an amazing tour. I'm going to miss you. Well done. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm now going to introduce the final announcer of VMFAT-101.
Distinguished guests, legends in the front row, it's truly humbling to be able to hold this microphone today. I got to do one thing first. I want to be able to put the Marines to rest, so please excuse me while I turn my back.
Squadron! Attack! Rest!
That means you can move around. Major General Borg-Schulte, thank you for this opportunity. Major General Brody, Mitchell, thank you for all those words. For all the sharpshooters that are here in attendance, you're here because this squadron still has a special place in your heart, and I feel it. I've lived it for the past 19.5 months. But, however the phrase goes, I think it goes, standing on the shoulders of giants, those in the front row, some of the legends in the back and in the crowd. You helped shape the sharpshooter legacy. At this time, I'd like everybody to look to your left. What you have being unveiled is the squadron's phantom tail, and it got a little bit of a makeover. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be forever enshrined in the Miramar Officers Club, in the walks-off room, and is commemorating the legacy, 3 January 1969 to 1 October 2023. Thank you for that round of applause. I'd like to dedicate another personal round of applause for the gentleman who created that masterpiece, the ones that unveiled it, contractors Jacques Humphrey and Corporal Carter. Please give them a round of applause. Wait, there's more. Every Sharpshooter alumni in attendance here today, it is my humble request that when the ceremony is over, before you depart, you sign the back of the phantom tail so that your presence here and you being part of this historic squadron can be commemorated, and you can be a part of that artifact and live on until the Oak Club burns down, which hopefully isn't tonight. All right, I'm on a short leash. So now for some thank yous. To the officers, to the senior enlisted, Sergeant Major Gonzalez, Master Gunnery Sergeants Booth, Caceres, Para, and Thomas, all the staff NCOs, to the AVMAC site team leads, to the AVMAC division managers. Their leadership helped to create this excellent culture in the squadron, this winning culture. So it's all for them. So thanks for taking the ball and running with it, to use a football analogy, which I think the CG approves of. Pause, breathe, family. To my family. You know, 1988, telling my parents I wanted to be a fighter pilot. It worked out. So, Mom and Dad, thank you. To the kids, oh, you're listening. Hey, thank you. Dad will be around a little bit more after today. And especially to Lisa. You made this fun. You made it easy, just because I knew that home and the family was always going to be absolutely flawless. So thank you. All right, for the XO who's looking sharp as the commander of troops out there, and to Sergeant Major Johnson, I could have asked for better teammates on the command deck. You guys helped with your recommendations, your guidance, your counsel. You helped turn the vision I had into reality. So, thank you. Round of applause for them, please. 19,944 days. That's how long this squadron will have been activated since its commissioning. Brigadier General Brody talked about how many flight hours we have achieved over that time. And for the front row especially, I just want to brag a little bit about what the 250 plus Marines and sailors and the 390 plus contractors have been able to accomplish during this final chapter of 101, the last 19 and a half months. To start, we flew 18 aircraft this morning. We finished what I think was a record that we know of with 90.2 mission capability rate this morning. after these final flights with myself and Colonel Mitchell, the F-18 Hornet hours the squadron was able to generate was just north of 7,500 mishap-free. That's truly amazing. What did we do with those flight hours? Colonel Mitchell mentioned it. We trained and developed 27 Category 1 pilots and WISOs to join the Fleet Marine Force, making those ready rooms better and able to take on the nation's calling. That's our main mission. But I want to brag more about the people in the squadron that make it happen. Major General Brody alluded to it. We had 58 Marines earn their collateral duty inspector qualification over these past 19.5 months. That's called CDI. We had 76 contractors earn their CDI. Over onto Collateral Duty Quality Assurance Representative, or CDQAR. 17 Marines earned that qualification, and 36 contractors earned that qualification. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the team that made all this happen. Please give a round of applause. All of that effort, all of that excellence creates the war machines for us to go up and train. Not PMC, but we averaged 30% full mission capability rate, so every system was working. That is absolutely fantastic. And in that, we were able to do 2 detachments to Tyndall Air Force Base. Already mentioned, we employed 17 air-to-air missiles, 11 by Category 1 pilots. We were able to explore the space, get creative, train, and send 3 of our instructor pilots to Top Gun adversary course and became adversary strike fighter tactics instructors. 5 of our Marines won meritorious promotion boards at the MAG, the wing, and the MEF level. Our ordnance officer is now Captain Rodriguez by being selected for limited duty officer. And just as of Wednesday, Staff Sergeant Vega was selected for warrant officer. We had 2 instructor WISOs selected for the professional flight instructor program. And I think when I started this journey, I asked for everybody on the team, hey, let's be epic. Let's bias every plan, every decision, and every action we take to circle back and support the squadron motto of fighter attack starts here. Ladies and gentlemen, for the legends in the front row, I'm proud of the SharpSHooters, and there's one more thing I have to do, and I'm going to turn my back one more time, but I want to share one final moment with the team.
Fighter attack! Start here! Fighter attack! Start here! Fighter attack! Start here! Thank you. Squadron! Attend!
Now taking his position in the reviewing area is the Sergeant Major of Marine Fighter Attack Training Squadron 101, Sergeant Major Jonas A. Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the deactivation, followed by the playing of Auld Lang Syne, Anchors Away, Marines Hymn, and the final dismissal. The Commandant of the Marine Corps directs the deactivation of Marine Fighter Attack Training Squadron 101, Marine Aircraft Group 11, 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing, effective 1 October 2023. All original lineage and honors currently awarded to and or held by this command shall be captured and transferred to Training and Education Command Historical Division. As a result of this deactivation, Marine Fighter Attack Squadron 323 shall assume the F-18 Fleet Replacement Detachment mission requirements through the completion of the F-35 transition process. Today, as VMFAT-101's banner is lowered, we honor the remarkable journey that has led us here. The SharpSHooters' resolute spirit, their dedication to nurturing our finest aviators, and their unwavering commitment to mission readiness have etched an enduring chapter in the records of Marine Corps Aviation. To the valiant men and women of VMFAT-101, we salute you. Your legacy lives on, carried forward by the generations of aviators you have shaped and the ideals you have embodied. As we bid farewell to this hallowed squadron, let us remember that while its physical presence may fade, its spirit, its valor, and its indelible mark on naval aviation will forever remain, soaring high and resolute in the skies of our history. Semper Fidelis.
Retire the colors. Reset. On. Order. On. Order. On. Dismiss the squadron. Aye, aye, sir. Dismiss the platoons. Aye, sir. Platoon. Dismiss. Aye, sir! Yeah. Hoorah! Dismiss! Platoon! Dismiss! Aye, sir! Hoorah!